And joining me now for an exclusive interview is Velina Tchakarova, political scientist and founder of the FACE geopolitical consultancy. Good evening to you, ma'am.
Good evening from Vienna. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for joining us. I want to start with the standoff between Kyiv and Warsaw over the naming of a Ukrainian unit after a World War II era insurgent army. Did Volodymyr Zelenskyy make a mistake here? Is this an era of judgment?
We don't know all facts, and right now we are actually speculating what exactly the reason behind this decision is. There are first assumptions that, in fact, General Budanov made the proposal to Zelenskyy and Zelenskyy agreed. And the very fact that Budanov is right now in Poland and is trying to improve the relationship with Poland, I think is the proof of actually intention. And I think that it's a tactical misunderstanding that has certainly unleashed a series of outrage in the Polish society, and rightfully so. But I do not think that this is going to actually affect the strategic nature of the Polish-Ukrainian relationship.
You're right to say President Zelenskyy's Chief of Staff, Kirill Budanov, has been in Poland meeting with officials and ministers. There appears to have been little breakthrough as we go to air this evening. What do you think happens next then? I mean, is the ball in Ukraine's court to change the name of the unit? Is that the only way that this relationship tremor, I guess, solves itself?
I think that there will be some signals coming from the Ukrainian side in terms of some sort of effort towards reconciliation, because that's a very important issue from the position of Poland. Poland has made it quite overt over the whole span of time, because there were some issues in the past as well. This is not the first time. There are, as I said, different speculations right now what the exact reason was, whether it's about some sort of boosting the morale in the Ukrainian army. Has just survived a more severe winter and is now also basically facing a new situation. If you consider, for example, the diplomatic push on behalf of Zelenskyy, again, this is all highly speculative. So what I'm expecting is that there will be some sort of messaging, some sort of clear political signals on behalf of the Ukrainian leadership that there will be some effort towards reconciliation. But I cannot tell you with 100% certainty that this decision that has been taken on behalf of Budanov and has been announced by Zelenskyy will be easily or quickly withdrawn.
But you don't think it's so serious that Poland would, for example, use a veto on EU accession talks for Ukraine?
I don't think that we are at this stage of conflict or tensions at all. I think that the very fact that Budanov actually came to Poland, in my view, the main reason for his unannounced visit was exactly this, to prevent any serious crisis or any serious tensions with one of its most important, actually strategic ally in Europe, and that's Poland. So in that sense, I do understand the core of tensions, that it's serious in its nature, but at the same time, the strategic nature of the bilateral relationship is much more comprehensive than that. It's also in Poland's interest to continue supporting Ukraine as it's facing now the summer offensive of Russia, and it's also preparing diplomatically for hopefully some window of opportunity for ceasefire or any kind of diplomatic resolution. So there are many issues next to a potential European Union membership. But I do agree with you that probably a European Union membership card will be also used as some sort of bargaining chip.
Let's briefly stay with EU accession. You've previously told this channel that Ukraine could be part of a gradual integration model. Does that mean you're on board with this proposal of associate membership that German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has been calling for, where Kyiv kind of gets in the door without voting rights but benefits from mutual defence clauses?
In fact, I was quite open about actually full membership. I still think and I still defend the thesis that Ukraine must become a member of the European Union as quickly as possible, because it's actually in the common interest of all European Union member states, because right now Ukraine, in fact, is defending all other 27 European Union member states, on top of which also the European NATO members. And in that sense, it should be a decision that's been taken on geopolitical calculus rather than on acquis communautaire or on the institutional DNA of the European Union. I also think that the European Union is no longer facing the reality or the environment of, let's say, the previous decades of enlargement. In that sense, I actually agreed on the idea of a gradual membership as, let's say, at least some sort of a compromise. But in fact, I think that a full-fledged membership is what basically Zelensky was announcing as a common interest. And I do understand, of course, that at the same time there won't be any serious support for this idea or for this specific goal on behalf of Zelensky. Yet from purely geopolitical calculus, it's in fact actually in the common interest of both sides. So yes, if there cannot be a full membership, gradual membership is still a better option than no membership at all.
Now, we're unfortunately running out of time, but on President Zelensky's open letter to Vladimir Putin, how do you read that? Who was he sending that message to? Was this about proving, look, the Kremlin, Russia does not want peace? Was he sending that message not to Putin, but actually to Washington, to Donald Trump?
Again, it's very hard to actually put it in only a few sentences, because right now the situation is far too complex. But maybe just to highlight the most important details from the letter. The first, of course, was the invitation to a direct meeting in a neutral terrain of obviously collective choice. And I think that this was actually genuinely meant for a meeting between Zelensky and Putin to initiate a process of, let's say, conversations of dialogue that should result in some sort of ceasefire. It's not so much about bypassing United States. It's mostly about the realization that the war in Iran is going to continue far longer than originally anticipated, that the United States is currently busy with the other war, and that Ukraine has a very, very minor window of opportunity of, let's say, several months before the next winter season begins. And you understand what it means for the Ukrainian armed forces, for the Ukrainian civilian population, if it has to undergo another severe winter as the one that has just come to an end. And of course, Zelensky was betting also on the comprehensive diplomatic support coming from Europe. Now, it's obvious what happened after the letter was published, namely the reaction of Putin, because Putin has a very different understanding of sequence of the whole negotiation process. He obviously doesn't want to meet Zelensky first and foremost without having anything on paper. That means he wants the working groups, which have been talking to each other behind the curtains, to agree on something. We have three pillars of negotiations. The one is linked to security guarantees, the one is linked to territorial disputes, and the third one is the reconstruction of Ukraine and basically the financial issues. As you know, that Russia has also certain claims when it comes to its frozen assets or sanctions. And basically, it's more about now, of course, it's more about the psychological game, because each one of them has to also show something to the world, show something to its partners. In this case, as you write, Zelensky also wants to take the initiative. But when it comes to Putin, he also played the psychological game by actually involving the United States and, still claiming that the United States are playing the key role as a mediator. So we are in this current dangerous psychological game, but I still argue and I still defend the same thesis that we will see probably the widest window of opportunity in the next months for some sort of agreement between Ukraine and Russia.
Velina Tchakarova, political scientist and founder of the FACE geopolitical consultancy. Thank you again for your time very much.
Thank you very much.
And that's all for World News Tonight. I'm Aaron Darman. Have a very good evening indeed.